Hello and welcome to Sacred Fire Behind the Curtain. Today is an absolutely amazing day. I'm really excited to bring to you my soul brother and friend. He grew up just an hour outside of Columbus, Ohio, a tradesman and a home builder. Shortly after high school, he was the #1 salesman in the country selling camping lots. However, he found when this wasn't in true alignment with his integrity, he shifted careers. And his heart's passion has always been towards people, helping them, supporting them, being caregivers, caring, loving soul that he is. It's only been recently, after coming out of a very dark time in his life, when he had a soul awakening in 2026. It was the darkest part of his life when things shifted for him. He actually had turned things around years later. Unknowingly, he'd had a spiritual awakening in 2017, doing fundraisers for foster children, understanding what it's like growing up in foster care as he did himself. Even back then, his heart was to support people. He discovered something phenomenal. He discovered that trees were communicating with him. In 2018, he had been following Brian Scott's Reality Revolution and also Kyle Boyd in his Heart Coherence. Only recently, this past May, where he was called, he had a spiritual calling to go to Maui to Brian Scott's live event that he and Kyle hosted together. It was an amazing event. I was there myself, very life transformational. And it was here at this event where my guest has truly began to step into himself and realize what has been calling him. It is my honor and my privilege to introduce to you my soul brother, Dewey Sprinkle. Dewey, thank you so much for coming on today. I had the privilege and honor of getting to meet you in Maui. Truly a man of integrity, heart, and caring about people. Share with us a little bit of what was transpiring in February that things shifted for you. What was going on?
Well, I tell you, Elizabeth, in February of this year, I was at one of the darkest periods ever of my life.
Mm-hmm.
I had been through a long-term relationship that had come to an end, and I was basically suicidal.
Mm-hmm.
Well, one night, I almost find this hard to say. One night when I was struggling with wanting to kill myself, at the stroke of midnight, Source intervened. I'd been holding a gun and I was putting it in my mouth and thinking about shooting myself. And then I'd put the gun down and I'd smoke a little bit from my bowl because I'm a marijuana user. And then I'd put it down again and pick up the bowl and put it down again. And right at midnight, I either passed out or Source intervened. Immediately, I got a download that I knew everything about how the universe was created. And it was in a fraction of a second. Like time doesn't even exist in Source or something. But then after that, for the next 6 or 7 days, I'm having this conversation in my head. But immediately when I started talking with this person, I knew it was Jesus Christ. I could feel his energy. And for the next 6 days, we kind of battled back and forth and discussed things in the Bible, things that I'd read for many years, because I had the Bible close to me for many years of my life. I had it on my toilet from the time I was 14 till I was, 32 years old. So I was really following the Christian religion then, but then I started questioning it years later. But fast forward to this time, now I believe that Source is pure energy.
Mhm.
And yeah, so that's kind of what happened that night. Wow, it gets
Wow.
so confusing.
Wow is right. And we've never gone into that far of depth. You had a near death experience?
You mean with the awakening or with the near death
With
experience?
when you had that download, that universal download,
Yeah.
something happened in there in those moments. You received that universal download.
Well, I guess that's what you could call it. I mean, it definitely changed everything in my life. And now I'm trying to move forward with source energy. I'm trying to do what I've always wanted to do, help people, you know.
Yeah.
So hopefully this is going to be a good thing.
Yeah.
I'm
I would
yeah,
imagine so. Yes. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, and how powerful too that you met Jesus, had interactions with him in one of my near-death experiences. I also had met Jesus, and
Oh,
I had a very high fever. I was in the hospital, and
oh.
I saw him come out of the wall. I got up out of my bed thinking, "Oh, it's time to go."
So you saw
And
a
I
physical
was young.
Jesus.
Yes, I was young. I think only 24, and
Oh wow.
I had a 2-year-old at home. Yeah, so
That's a lot with kids too. Yeah,
yes.
I had a couple boys I remember when they were babies. That's a tough thing to deal with, your kids and that coming on.
Yeah. Well,
Oh, I imagine.
I was I was ready to go when he says to me, "No, my child, not yet." He helped me back into bed and said, "I still need you here, and your son still needs you."
When you said that Jesus helped me back into bed, it reminded me of another time. At when in 2017, I or 2016, yeah, I'd been caregiving for a gentleman here in the Phoenix area who had Alzheimer's. I
Yes.
was so depressed after he passed that I'm out wandering through the streets for months and months and just dropping off my money in my own clothes into these shopping carts, not knowing why. It's like a compulsion, you know? But I
Mhm.
knew that it was being pushed by something from this passing of this guy who I cared for.
Mhm.
So anyway, as I'm walking home that day, I'm walking and I'm just drenched, soaking wet. And as I just get up near my apartment, I feel someone's arm go around me and walk me into my apartment. It was Jesus. You
Beautiful.
could feel it. Yes, I could feel the energy, and it was just amazing. So yeah, I thank you for reminding me of that. Jesus has been a big part of my life. He really
Yeah.
has. It's confusing when that I follow the Christian religion, you know, all the way through this, and still that has such a strong hold on me even after the awakening and discovering source. So I think that's kind of the way things are meant to be, though.
Yeah. Tell us
That's how
more
it
about
works.
that, the sensations that went through you when you felt the arm of Jesus around you.
Oh my gosh. I felt safe.
Yeah.
I felt like I felt like I could rest for a minute. You know, I'd been so tired, like I couldn't I don't want to say this. I couldn't rest emotionally and physically, you know, I just couldn't let go of things. And then that feeling of his arm around me, like, was a release from all of those levels. It released me emotionally, it released me physically, it released me in every way I can think about. So that's, yeah, there were some amazing feelings in throughout your body, you know, and all throughout this awakening stuff, there's been so many different feelings or energetic impulses in my body, from electric shocks like running from my head, shooting right through and out my feet, to just this humming sometimes. My whole body will just hum. Like when you're real quiet and you hear the crickets chirping and there's that humming of the background noises and you can feel it in your body, that
Mhm.
kind of humming. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah. And there's something so powerful and yet so peaceful when you're in that angelic presence, holy presence, spiritual presence
Yes.
of someone that has passed on or an angelic being. When I was, I think, in my late 30s, I don't know if I was 40 yet, I had the privilege of entertaining an angel.
Oh,
And it was raining, and I was driving to another city, and I see this tiny, frail looking man on the side of the road, and I'm thinking, oh my gosh, it's like, here I am, a woman in my 30s driving alone on this highway. It was like picking up a hitchhiker. It does not sound like the right thing to do, but in my spirit, I knew it was the right thing to do. And the
yes.
moment he got in my vehicle, there was such calmness and peace that I'd never experienced before. And it wasn't until years later I clued in. It was raining like crazy outside. He got in the vehicle, he was dry. Yes, that feeling of peace
Yeah.
and awakeness all at the same time.
It's like you read in those in the Bibles and the different religious books. It's a feeling of peace beyond comprehension,
Yes,
literally.
the peace that passes all understanding, that
Yes.
guides the heart and the mind and the spirit.
Yeah, that's the Jesus connection. It's beautiful.
It is, it truly is, yeah. And then you had several conversations with him then after that first event when you realized, oh, wait a minute, no, you set the gun down, you set the bong down.
Yeah, we
And
kind of
just,
argued it out. We were combative. It was like, you're not going to believe this story, okay? But let me tell you how it went. Um, Jesus smoked weed with me. I'd
okay,
hit the bowl, he'd laugh about it. He didn't judge anything. I was thinking, oh my God, I'm going to get judged. I'm going to be put down like the stories in the Bible stuff. No, nothing like that. It
yeah.
was totally different. It was like I'm arguing and talking to my best friend. We're going back and forth, and at some points I'm agreeing with him totally. I'm like, you know what? You're right. This is the way it works. This is the way we should work together as people. And other times it's like, wait a minute, that's bullshit. Okay, Jesus, time out.
Oh,
Just
and
time
how,
out.
how did he respond to
And
that?
well, no, it wasn't like it's like, okay, I get it, Dewey. I get it. He was
Yeah,
he was worried. He'd back off some from me, and then he'd come forward. It was like we were bantering, we're working together.
yeah.
We were compadres.
Awesome. You guys are bantering back and forth.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, tell me more about the bantering.
Well, it would be, how do I describe this? When I was talking to Jesus, it's not like I wasn't talking to a figure I could see, okay? I'm
Hmm.
basically having a conversation in my own head. But or I knew in my heart, this is Jesus. You can feel his energy, you know what I'm saying? So
Hmm.
as I'm doing this bantering and talking back and forth, it will be like, oh, I'm trying to think of an instance what was said. Oh, there was this one crazy time when we're kind of chatting back and forth in my head, and we were talking about source energy and how creation was. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. He's saying we were saying that source energy is up here, okay,
Hmm.
and nothing touches source energy. Not Jesus, not Buddha, not any of the religious leaders can get up there to touch source. It's because none of the things that source has created can understand the concept of eternity. Not the aliens thousands and trillions of miles away on different planets. And Jesus said, he says, Dewey, even there's a rock planet that is gazillions of miles away. I can't even tell you how far away it is. You wouldn't understand anyway. But these people, this rock planet is just like you humans, except they're made of stone.
No
They're made
way.
of rocks. And I said, really? He's like, yeah. So I'm like, okay. And he goes, but they're like 10,000 times smarter than you people on Earth. And I was just
Oh
like, oh
my
my God.
goodness,
Yeah.
really?
I'm like, well, of
Burn.
course they are. We're freaking a bunch of idiots here. We want to blow the planet up and everything. I get it. Yeah. Yeah, I believe that story. That's gotta be the
Right,
truth. You know what I mean?
right.
So yeah. So then I was just like that was the thing that like kind of blew my mind when he said that. I'll never forget that. It's like, really? There's rocks that are us, you know? And it makes sense though. You know what I mean? To me, this makes sense because you got to think about this. If eternity is unfathomable, okay, why wouldn't this creator that's unfathomable do everything through eternity? And why would it not work the way that it's described like that? It makes perfect sense that it can be the only way that this system would work to me. So yeah, I was like, oh, I'm sold. I'm in the game now. Let's play some more, you know.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. I love that with the rock people said, hey, you know what? The idea of the Hulk came from somewhere.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's it's an amazing week, and
Yeah,
I find it so hard to describe these things to people and what I was arguing and talking about because, well, for one thing, after time has gone by since you start to lose some of this, you know. I don't know if it's because of my chemotherapy treatments. I have something called chemo brain that still hangs on now and then. It doesn't, chemo brain's not something that happens right when you're taking chemo, by the way.
hmm.
It comes and goes over years after you've taken the chemo, unfortunately.
Okay.
And that's what the issue I have. So it makes it confusing as to what I can remember and tell people. And as time passes, these stories become less focused, but the feelings and the energy there are more deeply embedded in me, though. So dichotomy is weird. Um, yeah, I don't know how to explain that part,
Yeah,
but
that's
yeah.
fascinating. Yeah. So, was there anything else that was just totally mind-blowing that you would have never have anticipated him saying?
No, nothing that was blatantly like that. Like I said, there was a lot of shit. Like, are you serious? Well, yeah, let's smoke some weed. Stuff like normal people talk about in the streets, you know. And
Yeah,
that just kind of amazed me. Like you're talking like street people, you know. Why would Jesus talk like us, you know, at first? But then I kept remembering, oh yeah, he's everything and everybody. And then I go back on the other side and go, why is he talking like this again? So I'm bouncing back and forth through this whole period of time.
right.
And that's what it was like. This whole spiritual awakening has been a backwards and a forwards. I'll go fast forward all the way into I'm source energy myself and I'm one with God. And then I go all the way back down to my beginnings and roots as a child, even, you know, as a suffering child where I've been starved by my mother.
Yeah,
So this back and forth ride has been just scary, amazing, everything. I wish that everyone got the opportunity to do this, and I kind of think they're going to too. I
yeah,
get the feeling that from our discussions and stuff that everyone in this incarnation is going to experience an awakening of this sort in one form or another at least 1 second before they pass over to the other side. We'll all be there.
yeah, yeah.
We will all be
And
there.
yeah, I love that. It's basically Jesus was meeting you where you're at. And in the Christian doctrine, it
Yes.
says that and they would see Jesus, that they would see Jesus. And
Well,
where we
that's the
are right
question. What
now,
sight?
the coming of and of course in the Bible they talk about the coming of the new earth.
Oh,
There'll
yeah.
be a new heaven and a new earth. Well, this is what's going on right now.
See?
For it's of our transition that we are making, we are transitioning into a new earth, a new heaven,
Yes.
and as above, so below. And
Yes.
and for those that follow the Messianic Jews, it was
Yes.
said that Jerusalem would become was I believe is like a whole nation or sovereignty in that generation that is born during that time will
Yeah.
not leave until they see that. So that is our generation.
Yes, it is.
So the shifting. So now it doesn't say, I mean, yes, there's been interpretations that what people have thought that means that everyone would see him coming down, descending from the sky.
Yeah.
But we don't know that for fact unless,
You
like you, like me, that we've either met Jesus or actually have died and come back, like some of my other
Yeah,
guests that I've interviewed.
that's that's like the final step. That's
They
what the changing point.
meet
We can all
Jesus.
study the readings, we can all study spiritual knowledge and stuff, but that final step is that spiritual awakening where Jesus knocks on your door and says, "Hey, I'm home," or "I'm here. Answer."
Mm-hmm.
Or Buddha
Yeah.
or whoever your guy is, It doesn't matter if it's Jesus or Buddha or Krishna. It really doesn't matter. The point is, Source or God is coming to welcome you back to reality. And
Yeah.
the real reality of this is there is nothing but love and Source. There's nothing but God. Everything else is an illusion. That is reality.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. An illusion. And there'll be many people look around at this and say, "Are you kidding me? This is all an illusion. Okay, great. How do I change it?"
Well, and it can be confusing. Trust me, I was
Yeah.
confused all through my life too. But um, I, I I think we just have to keep that faith, because eventually it's all going to work out. It's going to work out for every soul on this planet because we're all a piece of God. We all have God with us. He's part of us. He's in us. Whether it's a Christian religion, they believe the same thing. They've got that God connection, or even atheists have a connection to God.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone has a connection to God. But yeah, I'm just so excited the way the universe works. I'm happy that my suspicions were true and proven true.
Yeah. I believe that there is never any coincidence at all. I believe
No,
everything is orchestrated and
yeah, there's
meant
a
to
plan.
unfold the way it is meant to unfold. The things that will be brought forth will be brought forth. The things that aren't brought forth are just meant to be pushed aside.
Yes.
Powerful, very
Mhm.
powerful. Yeah. And then how has that affected you and how you connect in other ways?
How did the spiritual awakening affect me and how I connect in other ways, like with people and stuff? Okay.
In any way, it's in any way, with people, with nature,
With nature
with
plants. Oh,
relationships, with anything.
well, I'll tell you how it's affected me. It's made everything like brighter and taste better and more vibrant and more alive in every way. The trees are alive. Oh, when I was in Maui, I'm leaning over and touching the koi fish and petting them and holding my hand down and waiting for
Yeah,
them to come up and nuzzle into my hand.
isn't that great?
That's what the
Yeah,
awakening does.
I
That's what it
love
does.
that.
It opens up the whole world. It makes
Definitely.
everything 10,000 times more amazing, is what it does.
Yeah.
And I can't, maybe even a billion times more amazing. I can't even quantify it. There's no number that quantifies what a spiritual awakening does. It's beyond comprehension, basically. You got to do it. You got to be there.
And
Unfortunately, that's the only path.
isn't that amazing how, with that awakening, that everything in nature responds to you differently
It is.
and how you've
It's
become
amazing.
more sensitive to nature?
It's beautiful. And I was a sensitive person my whole life anyway, and this
Mhm.
just it just fits me.
Right.
Um,
Yeah.
I've never been so happy. And I spent so many years so sad, Elizabeth. I believe I had about out of 60, I'm almost 60 in July.
Okay.
About 59 of those years were wasted.
Yeah.
Or kind of, like I didn't have a purpose, I didn't have a goals, I didn't have that thing, that that X factor I needed, that little extra thing. I just didn't have it. And now I have it. And
Either
my
that or
life
you're
is just like
building up,
amazing.
yeah, either that or you're building up experiences to bring you to this point, to have an appreciation as to who you are and the compassion that's built in your heart for supporting others.
Looking back on this, I can pick out points and times where, yes, there every little thing is building this build on that, and this build on that, and this build on that. It's amazing. And hopefully one day I'll be able to sort it all out and write that book, because I've been dreaming about writing a book about my life for a long time, because obviously the things I went through in life, it's something that, hey, anyone would want to write a book, all through these periods of things I've done with or without a spiritual awakening. You know what I mean? That
Yes,
was
yeah.
always my goal, is through life. But now it's just like all new levels. And I'm sure that, yeah, there'll be books, there'll be all kinds of things are going to roll out of me. I can feel the energy. It's just like,
Awesome.
let me out, let me out every day. I jump out of bed and go, what's next? What's next now? And it used to be like, oh, I wake up and go, oh my God, what's next? Now it's like, what am I going to do today? I'm happy. Let's go. Let's go.
That's awesome.
It's,
That's exciting. I just love all the zeal and passion that you
yeah.
have. And, I know that there are so many other wonderful, exciting things that you can share. And I definitely want to bring you back on the program again, that we can go
Oh,
deeper and talk
thank you
about
so
other
much.
connections that you've had. This has been absolutely amazing and wonderful. And definitely when your books come out,
Yeah.
we will definitely be talking about your books. And
Thank you.
I know I've been hearing the calling. I started writing one of my books, gosh, how many months ago now? I think it was last summer. I
Mm.
started writing
Thank-
a book, and I paused it, and I knew it was for the purpose of, we needed to shift. We needed to
Yeah.
shift because there's new chapters. So
Mm,
I look forward to sharing that with
mm,
you and sharing our books
mm.
with others. So thank you so much, Dewey, for joining us today and enlightening
Oh,
everyone with this amazing
oh,
gifts that you've shared today. It's just been absolutely
thank,
wonderful.
thank you, Elizabeth. You are the most wonderful person ever. And I'm blessed to have met you. Thank you so much, too.
Thank you for your kindness. All right. Thank you, everyone. Have yourself an amazing day. And please do always feel free to reach out, ask questions, let us know what you want to hear about. And yeah, little plug there for the reality
Yeah,
revolution.
yeah,
Yeah.
you know it. My buddy,
Yes, because
Brian Scott.
reality may not be what you think it is. Yeah. And
Well,
always reach out to find out more. Be blessed, everyone. Take care.